25 years ago, Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Corolla were two guys on a couch, making fart jokes, drinking beer, and endeavoring to build a dam to hold back the tidal wave of feminization that was flooding America.
We are building a dam.
A dam to hold back the tidal wave of feminization that is flooding this country.
So, did they succeed?
At times, a dam breach turns into a large-scale geological catastrophe.
Adam Corolla and Jimmy Kimmel were unable to hold back the tidal wave of feminization. And during the Man Show's run, third-wave feminism grew stronger, demolishing dams and flooding every corner of Western society. New Orleans was hit particularly hard, and by 2005, 80% of New Orleans was flooded, with some parts under 4.5 meters of water. Now I know what you're thinking. Feminism can't be blamed for the 2005 New Orleans floods, and the true cause of the flooding was racism.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
What? Before the year 2000, American comedy was something we could share. Johnny Carson ruled the late-night stage for decades. Letterman came in as the younger, stranger voice, but still within that same big tent framework. Comedy was broad, shared, and safe enough for the whole family to fall asleep to. It was clever, sometimes silly, but rarely political. It was a monoculture. One big room where most of the country tuned in together.
Tell me the last time that Jack Benny, Red Skelton, Benny comedian, used his show to do serious issues. That's not what I'm there for. Can't they see that?
By the year 2000, America's Cold War rival had been defeated. Comedy was about shock value, beer, boobs, stupidity. South Park ruled. Howard Stern was everywhere, and in the absence of the USA versus Soviet Union, the divide between the haves and the have-nots may have grown stronger. The big cultural divide wasn't left versus right. It was us, the little guys, versus the rich, the elites, the shadowy government. Perhaps nothing exemplifies this divide between the common people and some elite government monolith better than the song Testify, the opening track from Rage Against the Machine's 2000 album, The Battle of Los Angeles. Unfortunately, I can't play that song without a copyright violation, so we'll have to settle for a cheap imitation of a Blink-182 song. Enjoy.
It's the year 2000, it's us against them again. It's the same old rerun, it's been done, sung and then some, just like 1984. It's the rich against the poor. It's the rich guy, it's the rich guy, it's the blue tie, not a new guy. It's the year 2000, it's us against them again. Just like the 1900s, it's blue and red again. The poles will unite, black, brown, and white. It's the year 2000 and winning friends again. Against the calling and an enemy of my friend, you see.
The 2000 presidential election was ultimately decided by the United States Supreme Court, with Bush emerging as the victor. And while some legal experts and media types accused the court of political partisanship, the typical American wasn't too bothered one way or the other. He took a cue from the Rage Against the Machine song and simply figured the guy with the red tie defeated the other guy with a red tie. This was the year 2000. Keith Olbermann was just a guy who talked about sports. Donald Trump was some rich guy who hung out with Don King and Barbara Walters. While it's true that Americans had political differences in the year 2000, they didn't let these differences divide them. Allow me to use the television sitcom Friends as an example. The show, which aired from 1994 to 2004, revolved around the lives of 6 people who, despite being wildly different, are still able to remain friends. Chandler Bing was a raging phobe, but his friends didn't yet know that they were supposed to hate him for that. Ross and Monica Geller are culturally Jewish, but their friends don't hate them for this, at least not yet. Years later, When social media becomes ubiquitous, leftist Phoebe will march at Free Palestine rallies. Joey, meanwhile, will fall headfirst into an alt-right anti-Semitic rabbit hole from which he'll never escape.
But you're not. Why do they think that just because you have a Tonight Show that you must deal in serious issues?
By the year 2000, they had found a late-night talk show host to discuss serious issues. However, in the early days of his hosting The Daily Show, Jon Stewart was comfortable mocking both men in the red tie.
How many apples do I have?
It's a danger. It's a real danger. Once you start that, you start to get that self-important feeling that what you say has great import. And you know, strangely enough, you could use that show as a forum. You could sway people, and I don't think you should as an entertainer.
Put my finger on it, but I feel like there was one more reason.
And remember, September 11th changed the equation.
Enter Jon Stewart and the post-9/11 world. The Iraq War, mission accomplished, weapons of mass destruction. It was absurd, and Stewart turned absurdity into comedy.
Shame on you. It fooled me, we can't get fooled again.
After 8 years of Bushisms and war, Americans elected a young Illinois senator as the President of the United States under the motto of "Yes, we can. Certainly we could." So, did we? In every age, empires have understood a simple rule. If you cannot rule by unity, you rule by division. The Romans knew it. The British Empire perfected it. And in our own time, America's ruling class may have found its own version, divide and conquer, updated for the digital age. The Obama administration, built around this idea of "yes, we can," became more about "oh no, you didn't." What's with this we bullshit? Us versus them. Suddenly, the public conversation shifted. The media, corporations, and cultural gatekeepers amplified a new vocabulary. Racism, sexism, homophobia, hate speech. Words repeated so endlessly, so aggressively, that they began to function less as tools for justice and more as tools for division. Black versus white, red state versus blue state, neighbor versus neighbor, divide and conquer 2.0. And in this climate, two friends became symbols of a deeper fracture: Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Corolla. But what caused Jimmy to wear the blue shirt and Adam to don the red shirt? Was this merely about politics, or was there something more at play? And did it have anything to do with pizza?
So what exactly is pizza? And are there any actual facts to support this story? I've got to warn you, what we're going to talk about tonight will be disturbing to some people.
Pizza is an Italian, specifically Neapolitan, dish typically consisting of a flat base of leavened wheat-based dough topped with tomato, cheese, and other ingredients, baked at a high temperature, traditionally in a wood-fired oven. But what does that have to do with Jimmy Kimmel?
We disagree. We disagree on pizza toppings.
After the success of The Man Show, Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel were invited to some exclusive pizza parties. Many big names were in attendance: Donald Trump, Harvey Weinstein, even Barack Obama.
He's not just a great vice president, he is a great friend. We've gotten so close in some places in Indiana, they won't serve us pizza anymore.
Adam Corolla didn't particularly care for the pizza parties. Something just felt off. For one thing, he didn't like looking at Harvey Weinstein. The pizza ingredients were unripe. He couldn't understand why Biden and Obama were getting banned from pizza shops. And what the hell was so funny about it?
They won't serve us pizza anymore.
In contrast to his former co-host on The Man Show, Jimmy Kimmel reportedly had a great time at the pizza parties, going so far as to organize his own.
He's probably threatened by my pizza oven and by the fact that I make my own pizzas.
And while we can't say for certain what transpired at those pizza parties,
That's about it.
we can say that from that day forward, Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel have gone in opposite directions.
He's making fun of people for taking COVID seriously. I mean,
Listen,
why
here's
is
the
that?
thing
What's
of-
going on with Adam?
Adam doesn't believe in shampoo or soap, okay? And in fact,
for me, I live in California. 3 months ago, they were telling us we could walk on the beach, but we couldn't lay down on the beach. They closed all the parks. Think about all those kids who live in those sort of congested areas, who live in these crappy apartments with all the sort of sprawling asphalt and concrete. The only thing they have is a basketball hoop and a merry-go-round in a park. Why did we close the parks?
Hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
Well, anyone who gets it should avail themselves of whatever the best they can get. I mean, obviously, I don't want any lists or death panels. If you got it, get to the nearest hospital or take the medications.
A dam to stop the river of estrogen that is drowning us in political correctness.
Yes, we can. When there was despair in the Dust Bowl and depression across the land,